so much. You got a great audience. Thank you so much.
So, as I said, it's our first ever Austrian film in Midnight Madness. We're also going to do something we've never done before in Midnight Madness. The director is going to bring his mother on stage.
Come on stage, Mama.
Come on stage.
This is Minister Brigitte.
So, a definite first.
I love my son.
So where do you come up with, we don't really know horror films from Austria, genre films from Austria. Where did you come up with the idea to make this? I mean, this is very different than what we've seen in world cinema from your neck of the woods.
Well, for that, please give a big hand for my author, for my writer, Benjamin Hessler. And in the same way, please give a hand to my dear Mark Schultheiser, our producer, Constanze Schumann. I want to have on stage. Well, first of all, since I became a filmmaker, before that there was always the fascination of creature horror films, creature features, and they're the best actually in all genres. So I was always a dream to do it, and after Rambo we had the chance. Yeah.
And the idea, where did the idea come from? We haven't translated it for you.
The idea came from. It just came, basically. this idea that what wouldn't it be interesting if we just mashed up and mixed up different creatures that already exist, because we all have this experience in our childhoods and even in our adulthoods that if you look at insects really, really closely, you'll see that they're actually the perfect monsters.
And of course, can we talk about, actually, what was it like working with your son? What was it like working with your son?
Wie war es mit mir arbeiten? Aber hier ist eine Übersetzerin, du kannst auf Deutsch sprechen und sie übersetzt.
So, sometimes,
Kannst Deutsch sprechen.
manchmal gut, manchmal schlecht, aber the connection was very good. Let me tell you, my English is so funny enough. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad, but we have a good connection together.
You know, it was very important to pick her for the role. Actually, we wrote it for her because we had this idea that there is the minister. That, you know, the minister, the character of the minister, she's the boss. You know, and my mother is the boss. So who else can play the role instead of my mother? Besides that, she's a good actor. Like this.
And Brigitte practically taken me on as a second son, and I know her in all her states, and there are many, and they are spectacular, so it was really fun writing these scenes.
Do we have any questions from the audience here? Yes.
Notice that the creatures, you never completely saw them. I really like that there was indication, so you saw goo and ooze and fur and glowing eyes and sort of rapid movement, but you never actually, was that deliberate from the get-go, or was that something that was developed in the process?
No, we planned to do an old-fashioned creature feature. We grew up with films like The Thing or Alien, and always when there is too much CGI in the monsters, if I feel too much ones and zeros, I start not fear. I lose the fear, and I think, you know, the imagination of, I want to work with the imagination of the cinema goer, of the spectators. I want to work with that, and I hope we achieved our goal.
Who else do we have?
Yes.
How many monsters did you use?
How many monsters did you use?
Good question. We had the fox beetle. We had the bird beetle. We had the baby, the mosquito, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, I'm so blown away from this. Yes.
I thought it was really funny in some parts. Was that intentional or did that develop as you guys were working?
Of course. Of course, that's our goal. At the same time, we want to entertain, we want to have funny moments, and we want to have scary moments. I think, you know, genre films are like a roller coaster of emotions, and you have to, you know, you have the possibility to make this and make this and make this. You're free, and that's the fun about it.
Were you surprised by any of the audience's reaction to it?
I loved it so much. I love you guys so much.
I just want to know where that location was and how difficult it was to film on those rocks.
We filmed on a real location on 3,000 meters, and it was for the crew and for the cast. It was really difficult to anticipate this elevation. Some of them get sick, and we also had.
And I always forgot my dialect because the air is so thin and I was going, what?
Yeah, but it was in South Tyrol, which used to be a part of Austria, and now is a part of Italy, and they have a beautiful landscape, as you can see. And the strange thing is that the glacier you saw, this glacier was in the beginning of the century. It went down to the valley, and now it how do you say shrunk? It shrunk, you know, it shrunk so extremely, shrunk like 5 kilometers back, and this is really like a bad sign. So this was inspiration for us, a sad inspiration.
Anyone else there will be shy? The balcony can't see, so yell it out if you got it.
I'm the balcony.
Yes, yell it out.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering if the line, stop eating that banana while you're crying. It sounds kind of absurd in English, but like, does it, like, I don't want to ask, does it make more sense? Like, is it?
I think that should answer my mother why you come up with.
Because when I went to school, my school neighbor always, when she got the bad mark, she cried. And during she cried, she ate a banana. I hated that.
When she was telling me that, it was perfect for the scene. Benjamin was there.
This is a line that really follows me in my dreams. This is just the perfect reaction to almost everything. I gladly put that in when you mentioned that.
And actually, what does the translation of the title mean in English? Because it doesn't mean the station.
So translated, it means Blood Glacier. So guys, who's for the station and who's for Blood Glacier? So World Agency, so production company, what do we do right now? Yes.
Do we have anyone else there?
I have a question. I don't know if you can see me here though.
Well, we can hear you.
Okay, so here it is. The movie kind of bounces back and forth between like atmospheric and funny, but the ending, right? You kind of just made it be really, you went absurd as opposed to kind of scary or freaky. Was that like deliberate, or were you torn between doing something that was kind of...
Did it touch you? Yes, so.
One of the things that I like about the film is that basically. It's like they're adult characters. Can you talk about the decision to craft these characters? What did you want to bring to them?
The word adult is actually very good in that context. We always talked about this and talk about it, that we really like our stories and our movies to be set in adult environments. That came up wrong. But with mature people and not just only good-looking teenagers. And what we did with the state, with Blutgletscher, as with Ramok, was that we actually knew pretty early on who our protagonist would be played by, and that made the whole thing more organic and made it grow quite naturally.
We have one last question. Yes.
I really like how all of the characters most of the characters make sensible decisions, which is a nice change from pace from normal. Was that something that was important to you? That your characters do things that make sense? Because a lot of times normally they don't.
Benjamin, the hair on my back is standing up because this is just about the greatest compliment. Because I just thought when I saw the film, I just thought the people on the station at the beginning, it's actually like in my head when I write. There's a lot of yelling and nobody showers and nothing gets done. So thank you very much.
And that's the other thing, is like the minister's reactions to everything are just so kind of real and just kind of address the situation. And it was marvelous, and you could hear the reaction of the audience. Let's do one more question.
Who was the girl? Yeah.
She was part of another group of people. She was part of 3 teenagers who were in the mountains for leisure, and they were fairies. You know what it is? Of course you do. Yes. And they had this really fun scene where they made this music video and they took drugs and then they were attacked by a creature.
Did you shoot that?
We shoot that, but for the rhythm of the film, it doesn't seem necessary. So we want to keep the roller coaster going.
Let's hear it for the roller coaster.